Audi's A7 Sportback moves to the next level in second generation guise. Buyers in the full executive segment get Gran Turismo body styling as before for a more individual demeanour, but the smarter package on offer has been thoroughly rejuvenated with mild hybrid engine technology, class-leading possibilities for driving autonomy, sophisticated media connectivity and cutting-edge cabin design. The result is a high-tech combination of style and practicality.
Arguably the most important changes made to this second generation A7 Sportback model have taken place beneath the bonnet. Now various engines are on offer, but our focus here is going to be on the two mainstream 3-litre 6-cylinder power plants this car was launched with. Now both are fitted with Audi's latest MHEV mild hybrid technology, and that uses a clever 48-volt electrical system that enables the car to coast more economically at cruising speeds. Now there is a 55 TFSI petrol model with 340 PS and 7-speed S-tronic auto transmission, but most buyers are going to want the 286 PS 50 TDI diesel derivative that we've been trying here, and that uses an 8-speed tiptronic auto. The key attraction of this TDI variant will be its class-leading running cost efficiency, and that sees up to 50.4 mpg being possible on the combined cycle and up to 147 grams per kilometre of CO2. All of the engines are mated to an improved quattro four-wheel drive system, and there's the option of a dynamic all-wheel steering package for greater cornering agility and parking manoeuvrability. Both these things help at speed through the bends, although the steering could still use a bit more feel, even though it has been improved by a progressive feature that allows it to operate more and more directly as the turning angle increases. Throughout, the sheer weight and width of this Audi is never far from your mind. On the highway though, this second generation model can manage all of that on its own if you take up the option Audi offers of building in a package of so-called level 3 autonomous driving tech. The traffic jam pilot system you can specify on this car only allows that facility on properly divided highways at speeds of under 37 miles an hour, but in operation it's undeniably impressive, as are the associated parking pilot and garage pilot systems that will allow you to remotely park your car when you reach your destination. This is certainly a very imposing piece of design. Is it beautiful? Well, that depends on your definition and very possibly on the amount of money you have to spend on the finished spec. Either way, you'll certainly get yourself a very sizable piece of sculpted executive segment German real estate. This second generation A7 Sportback being nearly 5 metres long and almost 2 metres wide, yet standing only 1.4 metres high. Classically elegant? Well, maybe not, but it's certainly handsome and sophisticated. Behind the wheel, the Vorsprung durch Technik charisma of this car really gets into gear. There's a different, more technological ambiance than you get with obvious rivals, but the interior still incorporates the required splash of luxury needed for a Gran Turismo of this status, and there's a bit more driver focus than you get with the larger A8. That's the car from which this model borrows most of its technology. You're going to need to like screens because this completely redesigned cabin incorporates no fewer than 3 of them, largely replacing all the many buttons and dials of the previous model. Now the 2 that you'll notice first power up as soon as the door's opened, and they dominate the upper and lower parts of this piano black trimmed centre stack. The gently curved upper 10.1-inch display deals with the most important radio, media and telephone functions, while the lower 8.6-inch monitor is reserved for more comfort-orientated, mainly climate-related features. Now both monitors interact with the configurable 12.3-inch Audi Virtual Cockpit instrument binnacle screen that you view through this 3-spoke wheel. Right, let's take a seat in the rear where there's another wide opening frameless door. Audi says there's 21mm more legroom and 5mm of extra headroom. It's still not as spacious as the rear bench you'll find in a rival BMW 6 Series GT, but it's about on a par with the strongest selling Mercedes CLS. Now let's finish by taking a look out back. The hatch opens electrically to reveal a 535 litre space, and that's exactly the same as that offered by the previous generation version of this car. If you need more room, then completely flattening the rear bench frees up 1,390 litres of capacity, which is of course where this A7 holds a massive advantage over that rival CLS model. And in summary, well, it's certainly true that you've still really got to like Audis to like this car. More specifically, you've got to like A7s. For all this Mark II model's sophistication, it still feels very much an evolution of the original first generation design. As a result, there are always going to be those who'll prefer the elegance of a Mercedes CLS or the slightly more dynamic demeanour of a BMW 6 Series GT. We're guessing, though, that a small but significant number of executive segment buyers might now find this Audi to be a surprisingly complete all-round choice, were they ever minded to consider one. It's very Vorsprung durch Technik, just as it should be.